All right, what is up everyone? Kurliana here, also known as Kat, and today we're gonna be talking about 7 things that you can be doing or 7 reasons why you're not retaining length, okay? So if you're someone who's saying, hey girl, my hair feels like it's breaking off left and right, or I feel like I haven't grown my hair at all in 2020, or I feel like I haven't grown my hair since I was 15, whatever your situation is, okay, I got you. I'm gonna give you all the sauce today. We're gonna get into it. Feel free to like, subscribe to this. It would help me out so much because I'm gonna be giving y'all the tea, all the juice, whatever your choice of drink is right now before we end 2020 to get y'all on a good track for 2021. So go ahead and like this video. Before we get into it, there are 2 things I wanna call out. The first is that, 1, this video is related to my previous video, so go watch that. It's around, I call it like 4 ways to grow your natural hair, but it's actually not about growing, it's about, again, retaining length. So go watch that video, and because it's super important, these 2 are gonna go hand in hand. And the second is around this misuse of language that I'm guilty of, and so many of us within this natural community are, which is, again, saying things like my hair's not growing or ways to grow your hair, blah, 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 okay? I've known this for years, and for some reason during this video when I recorded the previous one, I didn't use the right language, but because it's easy to fall into, you know, the common language we all use, but your hair is growing, okay? I wanna give you assurance, I'm gonna say it again, your hair is growing, more likely than not, okay? If you are healthy, able-bodied, your hair is growing at a rate of about 1/2 inch per month, which is 6 inches per year. So I see us a lot say my hair doesn't grow, my hair doesn't grow. What's really happening is that we're not retaining length, okay? I know this because I've definitely struggled with retaining length, but the 2 things, not growing hair and not retaining length, are very different. If you're someone who has, you know, an eating disorder, an autoimmune disorder, or some sort of illness, those things can definitely affect your rate of hair growth because you're not at a healthy body. But if you're healthy and able-bodied, more likely than not, your hair is growing as it should be at an average rate of 1/2 inch, excuse me, per month. So I want to call that out. Again, this is not just a you thing or y'all. I am so guilty of using the same language, but I just feel like as a community we can do better and start to properly use language, and language is so important. And so I want to support y'all because I want to first let you know that A, your hair is growing, but B, that there are things you can be doing to help it retain length. Don't get mad at me for what I'm about to say, but as soon as I took accountability for the fact that my hair was growing, but it was breaking off because of things I was or wasn't doing, that's when I was finally able to see hair growth. So that's what I want y'all to do and take away from this video as opposed to the video I shared previously. This video is really around things I want you to focus on to stop your hair from breaking off. Don't get mad at me, but when you take accountability, I promise you that's when you get to see results. And that goes, that's a dime for your whole life, y'all. I'm giving y'all the gems, okay? That goes for anything. So let's get on into it. Thank you so much, if you still love me, for being here with me right now. The first thing we're gonna be talking about, you guessed it, is diet, okay? Y'all know I love diet. I think it is such a big determinant of health, not just your physical health, but just your mental health, mental clarity, etc. So I don't care about all that stuff, keto and weight loss and blah, 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 and low calorie, forget all that stuff. What I want you to think about as we step into 2020 is the food I'm eating nourishing my body? Is it nourishing my soul, my mind? Is it doing what I want it to do for me? That's what I want you to ask yourself. And that goes for your hair, right? If you're not eating well, you're not gonna see healthy hair, but you're not gonna see health in so many other aspects of your life. You're not gonna have healthy relationships. You're not gonna have a healthy relationship with food, with your diet. You're not gonna have a healthy relationship with your exercise, with your body, etc. So don't focus on, is this gonna make my hair grow? Is it gonna make my hair, you know, long? Focus on, is this food nourishing my body, okay? I love bread, I love sugar, I love all that stuff. Kill me, okay? I love it. But that doesn't mean that I don't focus on other healthy items. I also believe in balance. So yes, I might eat ice cream every week. Leave me alone. but that means I'm making sure I get my nutrients, my vitamins, my greens in on a daily basis. Balance is so, so important. I want y'all to have balance. I really believe in it, but I also want you to make yourself and your hair and your body a priority. So step one, get your diet in line. You will find that this helps in so many other areas of your life, such as your mind, your mental clarity. All of a sudden you get your diet in line and you're gonna be realizing that that guy, that girl is not for you. You're gonna realize that friends were not real friends. I promise you, diet is powerful. So that's my tip number one for why your hair may not be the way it is. Your diet is not sustaining it and keeping it healthy. It is breaking off. And so first thing, get your diet in order. Second thing for why your hair may not be retaining length is because it is dry. This goes very hand in hand with diet, but take this from someone who knows and has very dry hair. As someone who has type 4 hair, my hair is in a twist out right now, but usually it's very kinky, coily, etc. And that means that it's very difficult for moisture to get down to my ends, okay? Type 4 hair is not always dry. It's just that the curl pattern of our hair makes it very difficult for every part of that strand to be moisturized. That's what it's saying. I wanna be really, really clear about that. So if you have dry hair, repeat after me. Dry hair equals brittle hair, which equals breakage, okay? So the first thing I want you to do is tackle and attack that dry hair. You can do that by doing the following things. A, keeping your hair moisturized by putting on, super easy, spray bottle. Put water on your hair. Half water, half aloe vera will help your hair tremendously. Deep condition your hair whenever you wash it. Start putting, a satin bonnet or a satin scarf or a satin pillow when you go to sleep. All these things will help you keep your hair moist and stop it from breaking off. I've been touching my hair a lot, so I'm gonna show y'all what my hands look like because I feel like, yeah, they're oily because I just put oil on my hair before this video and I washed my hands. But the fact that I've been touching my hair and now I have oil on my hands, yes, maybe a little gross, but it tells you I keep my hair moist, okay? I'm not an idiot. I know that my hair cannot take dryness well and that it breaks off when it's dry. And so for me, moisture is everything. I've had guys be like, girl, you got some oil in your hair. Yes, I do, honey. And I'm not embarrassed about it. Yes, I have oil in my hair, but you like my hair, so leave me alone. I've had guys tell me that, I promise you. And they're not like, ew, you need to wash your hair. Like, oh, I get it. You have a lot of hair. So trust me, keeping your hair moisturized and keeping it from getting dry is everything. Okay, number 3. The third reason for why you may not be seeing healthy hair being retained is that you're overcombing your hair. This was one that I was like, okay, how do I talk about this? Because I feel like in the natural community, people either overcomb their hair or they under detangle it, okay? They're separate things. It's really important for you to both properly detangle your hair, but not overcomb it, okay? Properly detangle your hair, but don't overcomb it. So I remember when I went natural, I was like, my hair is not growing as much as I want it to. So I went to the internet, everyone said, stop combing your hair. Don't comb your hair. That's why it's breaking off. I said, okay, cool. So I stopped combing it. Guess what happened? Just guess. My hair matted up like there was no tomorrow. Like when I say I almost considered getting dreads, that's how much my hair matted up. So when I say you want to find a balance, you want to find a balance. So for me, I finger comb my hair. I wash my hair 4 times a month and I finger comb my hair most of the time, except for twice a month, I will use a comb. So I'm gonna walk you through the whole process right now, but that just gives you an idea. I've found balance. I know other beauty bloggers out there. Whitney's another one who's talked about how she's found balance with combing versus finger detangling, etc. It takes time to get there, but it is so important for you to realize that you want to not overcomb your hair, but you do want to make sure your hair is properly detangled. I just want to call that out. So what does this look like for me, for your girl right here? What this looks like for me is the following. When I am in the shower, after I've washed my hair, I've put my deep conditioner in, etc. I put my deep conditioner in my shower just to keep my hair moist. And then before I actually go to bed, I'll walk y'all through my whole routine. I sleep in my deep conditioner, but before I go to bed, I just work it through my hands, okay? and then I put my cap on, and then I go to bed. In the morning, after I've sat under my hooded dryer for some time and let that heat, really help the moisture from the conditioner soak into my hair, when it's time for me to rinse it out, after I've sat under for like 30, 40 minutes under my dryer, then I take the cap off, and again, I start to finger detangle it again, okay? Finger detangle it again. And then if it's good after that, I'm done. That's my detangling for 2 times out of the 4 times I wash my hair a month, okay? That's it, finger detangling. However, on the rare occasion, maybe twice a month, where it needs a little extra, I'll then go in with a comb, okay? So then, as you can see, this is a wide tooth comb. This is just from like your natural, like beauty supply store, like it's the Annie brand. I'll then go in with a comb if my hair needs a little bit extra detangling, okay? That happens twice a month. So 2 out of the 4 times I'm doing this. And then maybe once every 2 months, okay, is when I go in with an actual brush as such, okay? This is an easy detangling brush. I want to call out, it's so important to think about combing your hair in phases like this, because your hair needs time to kind of warm up to it. I know I need time to warm up to certain things, whether it's a workout, whether it's me waking up in the morning, whether it's other things, whatever it is, if you catch my drift. Your body needs time, your hair needs time to warm up to being combed. You can't just go in with a rat tail comb or whatever. Even going in with this is too much. It'll shock your hair. So first, warm your hair up by going in with your fingers and finger detangling. I know plenty of people who only finger detangle. For me, it doesn't quite work. I do need some level of combing, but if it works for you, if you have less kinky, coily hair, then please do what works for you. If you're like me, you need a little bit of combing, then after you've finger combed your hair, go in with a wide tooth comb. After that, I would say most people are probably set after they've gone in with a wide tooth comb. I feel like very few people really need to go in with a thorough brush afterwards. Just get used to the comb. You might not be used to it, but give your body a second to get used to it. You may not use a comb often, but I promise you, it's probably less damaging than a brush. But then after a comb, if you still need some extra detangling, then go in with this and really see what areas need it. Not all areas may need this, right? But only a few sections, that's okay. When you're combing your hair, I want you to think about balance, and it's okay not to do it's everything. That goes for any part of your hair, right? It's okay for you to switch things up for different sections on your hair, depending on what it needs, okay? So if part of your hair doesn't need to be combed, don't comb it. If this part of your hair, this part of my hair never needs to be combed out, okay, with a comb, I can detangle it with my fingers and be fine. Then I'm done. That's it. Your perimeter is sensitive. Why would you want to put a harsh comb through it? Don't think that just because you need to put a comb on the back of your hair where it's sweaty and gets matted up, that means you need to put a comb on your front of your hair. You don't have to, okay? That's the beauty of being natural. You can do whatever you want. It's your hair, girl. So just know that. That is what I recommend. And then just give yourself time to detangle. That's another thing. I know when I'm in a rush, oof, child, I'd be ripping and moving and conditioners flying on the wall. Don't do that. Give yourself time to properly detangle your hair. So I prefer to do it at night when I have nothing to do, or in the morning I'll do it, whatever. But don't be in a rush. If you're in a rush, just wait the next day. It's fine, I promise you. It's doubtful that your hair is gonna mat up in one day difference. So, okay, very long-winded, but very important. Rule number 3. So rule number 4 is around the protective style you're putting in. So it's either not putting in the right protective style or not putting in a protective style at all. So I'll start with the first one around not putting in the right one. So for me, I love protective styles. I've talked about this, but you gotta be careful. Things like high buns or things that cause a lot of tension really do damage your hair, and they'll lead to breakage. It's such a catch-22 because protective styles are really powerful for helping you retain length because you're not manipulating your hair, you're not touching your hair, and so you're able to retain that length. However, if the protective style is too rough and your hair can't endure it, then you're gonna get breakage, and that's really unfortunate. So I remember there was a time when I would do like a flat twist. It's kind of a cute style. If I could find a photo, I'll link it, but I may not be able to. I would do like a flat twist going up, 2 flat twists going up, a couple actually, into a high bun on my head. And it was just really regal and like black goddess and powerful. But guess what? I started getting a lot of tenderness on the crown of my head, and I go to a dermatologist, and she said, yeah, like I can look, you know, they do all these like weird tests, and she looks at my scalp and she said, yeah, the crown of your head is inflamed. And what we realized was that even though it was loose and it wasn't a tight style, because I have all this hair, the weight of it was actually causing tension on my crown. And actually, I mean, my edges have grown in now fine, but it's actually causing some hair loss on my edges too. So I have definitely learned to stay away from like high buns. I love them. I think they're beautiful. But if you look through any of my photos on my Instagram, you'll see that I don't do high buns anymore because they really put tension on my crown. So for me, tight ponytails or even loose ponytails, high buns, those are a no-no. I love them, but they just put tension on my hair. See what works for you. Another thing you might be doing, weaves are great, but just be careful with that thread. Again, I've talked about this. Just be mindful about what your hair can and cannot withstand as you think about protective style. On the flip end of that is not doing a protective style long enough or doing one at all. So my hair is out right now, but for all my girlfriends who know me, my hair is usually in twists. I'll wear my hair in twists during the week, and then I'll take my hair out if I have like a date with a male friend or something, or I hang out with some girlfriends. I'll take it out on the weekends. If I don't have nothing going on that week, y'all, I keep my twists in. Simple as that. So I took my twists out yesterday because I was hanging out with a friend, but before that my hair was in twists for 3 weeks. It just depends. Okay, so yes, I do batch my content depending on, you know, when I have free time, what my hair looks like, etc. But that's helpful for me because it helps me retain length. You guys ask me, you know, how you do retain length. That's how. I'm not constantly putting my hair up and down, up and down. I put it away, I oil it, I take care of the ends, and that's what happens. And then maybe 2 weeks later, a week later, sometimes I leave my twist in for 4 weeks. Then I take it out and we're good to go. But protective styles are really important. Just make sure that you are not putting it in for too long, and you're also not putting it in where you're like putting too much stress or strain on your hair for too short of a time. So if you're doing box braids every 2 weeks, girl, no. Or box braids every 3 weeks, girl, no. Girl, no. Why would you put those little extensions, all that little tension on those little pieces of hair for 3 weeks? I recommend that you leave your protective style, and that's a protective style with added hair like that, like individuals or whatever, for 4 to 6 weeks, okay? When you get to 2 months, you're getting up there. When you're at 2 months, I think it's a little bit long, especially if you really need to cleanse your scalp properly, but I think the sweet spot of a good protective style is 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what it is, and then taking it out. Again, sometimes I leave my protective style in just my normal twists. You know, if I wash my hair tonight, I put them in twists. I might leave it in for 4 weeks. I might leave it in for 2 weeks. I might leave it in for 1 week. It just depends. But not constantly combing through my hair on a daily basis is really important for retaining length. Okay, so my tip number 5 is around heat. So this is one where I was thinking, do I want to include this or not? Only because I do think you can actually put heat in your hair and still have healthy hair. It just depends on, again, it goes back to the durability of your hair, your diet, what you're eating, the health of your hair, and can it withstand heat, yes or no? But I think that when you're in the beginning of your natural hair journey, or in the beginning of trying to grow your hair out, it's best to lay off the heat for a little bit. The reason is, it's not that it makes your hair any, slower in terms of growing. What it does, if you're like me, when I was straightening my hair all the time, it breaks your ends off. But when you look in the sink and you see those little snippets of hair, your hair is breaking off, baby girl. So that would be me all the time. I'd be like, oh, shedding is natural. And I would just go on with my life, but it wasn't shedding. My hair was breaking off. And if I could be honest, looking back now, I really should have stopped because it showed. So yes, it showed. So trying to lay off the heat until you kind of get to a place where you're happy with your hair and you're in the maintenance mode, then I think it's okay to start to reintroduce heat maybe a couple times a year, every few months or so. That's fine. But in the beginning of you trying to grow your hair, I recommend laying off the heat if you can. Obviously, if you're getting married or you're hanging out with a girlfriend or you just want to curl your hair up and do you, honey, do you. I love a good blowout. I haven't done one in 4.5 years, but ooh girl, I would love a good blowout, and I love it on my girlfriends, but you know what your hair can take, and you know where you are in your hair journey. So my sixth reason for why your hair is not retaining length is that you're not doing a protein treatment. So this is one that I think is really often overlooked. It's either, no one's heard of it, or people over protein treat their hair. Protein is really important. I want to talk on it slightly. I'll do a separate video if there's interest on like the science behind it, but protein is really important for giving your hair structure and strengthening your hair. Your hair needs both structure, right, to give it durability, to be able to withstand things, but it also needs moisture. And what you want to do is strike the balance between structure and moisture, structure and moisture. I am constantly thinking about how am I both giving my hair everything that it needs in terms of both being moisturized, but also in terms of being strengthened. Now, a lot of us do know this. Protein treatments can really dry out your hair. They don't actually dry out your hair. What they do is they strengthen your hair so much that your hair can basically snap, okay? It's added so much structure to your hair that your hair is very sensitive to be manipulated, okay? That is what happens. So a great way you balance protein is with moisture. Now, if you're all protein and no moisture, then your hair is going to snap off because it's very prone to being broken when it's in that state of only over protein, if that makes sense. Only protein is what I was gonna say. Versus if your hair is all moisture and it's no protein, your hair is like mush. There was a point in time when my hair was super soft, super moisturized, but I was like, something's not right. Like, it's like mush. I really can't explain it. I was like, my hair is just like sliding on out. Like, I was like, what is going on? And I finally started doing protein treatments, and I realized my hair didn't have the structure and the strength that it needed to be manipulated. That's what was going on. I didn't have enough protein in my hair. And I'm heavily plant-based, not entirely, but I eat a lot of plants. I don't eat a lot of meats, if you will. I eat fish, but that was something that I was like, okay, I thought I was eating plenty of fish, and I really had to look back. This was 2 years ago now, at my diet, and realized I wasn't eating enough fish, and that's why I wasn't getting enough protein in. So protein is super important. I use a henna protein treatment actually every couple months. Henna, again, is super duper strengthening. So if you do not know how to use henna, please don't use it. I will do a video on it for you all to show you how to use it and to get it that perfect moisture / protein balance. But henna is awesome, in my opinion. It's like immediate strengthener. I notice it immediately that my hair is stronger, more durable, etc. It basically deposits into your hair all of its goodness. So I will do a video for you all on that. Please, if you don't know how to use henna, please do not use it. I'm telling you right now, if you don't know how to use it, it will lead to breakage because you have to know how to manipulate your hair with it. But if you do, that's a great one. You can also try the egg and avocado. Again, just be mindful of that protein moisture balance I talked about. But no protein at all is a big reason for why people are seeing a lack of hair retention, because their hair is not strong enough to maintain manipulation. But on the flip end, if you're over protein treating your hair, then it will break off. So just get a little bit of a balance, there's a little bit of a balancing act, but that is really important. Okay, so the last and seventh reason for why your hair is not retaining length is, drum roll, a lack of focus on you and your own self-care and your own self-love. I know this sounds willy-nilly, stupid or whatever, but I just want to really speak on this for a second because this is real life. 2020 has been quite the year, if I will. I would use a different word, but it's been something, y'all, okay? And I have noticed so many people not prioritizing themselves in this really difficult season that we're all in. And I just want to call it out because it is so critical to your own sustainability, your own endurance in life, and your own health, okay? And so all these tips I've spoken about, they're nothing without self-love and without you putting yourself first, okay? This encompasses everything I've talked about. In order for you to have healthy hair, retain your length, have the life that you want, etc., you have to put your stinking self first. You deserve it, baby girl. You're worth it, etc. When I've not put myself first, when I've deprioritized my hair, it's really struggled. I've had friends in the same boat. You know, they're trying to get their medical degree, they're busy, they're hustling, they're dating, they're doing this, and their hair takes a back burner. They take a back burner on themselves, and they don't get the results that they want, right? And so I want to encourage you guys to like really prioritize yourself. Make yourself number one in your life, and you'll be able to pour more openly to other people. Like, you can't give from what you don't have. So I don't want to make this all like soft and gooey, but I do want to say that it is so important for you to have self-love and care in terms of your healthy hair journey, and be patient with yourself, be patient with your hair. She's trying to, you know, she's with you too. She's trying, your hair's trying. I know you're trying, but I just want to say that this is a really important piece and factor to retaining length, is actually making the time for it. And that means prioritizing you and yourself, and knowing that even if it's just hair, it's okay for you to say, actually, sorry, I'm busy at that time. So just know that. I want to call it out because I see a lot of people writing off themselves in 2020 and not putting themselves as a focus as they really should be. I see them saying it on their Instagram, but they're not doing it in real life. So I want to encourage you to do it in real life. Not tolerate disrespect, not tolerate people who don't prioritize you. Cut all that crap out. Put yourself first, and you will see the results in your hair, in your life, in your health more abundantly. So that is it for me. Again, please go ahead and like or subscribe and subscribe to this if this was helpful for you. Again, let me know down below what other videos you'd like to see. If you want to see my routine, what would be helpful to y'all, I would just happily make any video really for you guys. So let me know what works for you. I am so grateful for you to sticking with me through this very long video. I hope you take care and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, bye.